Hello, welcome once again to one more of our interviews with our fabulous speakers for the upcoming Higher Self Expo. Today we have Smita Joshi with us. And what will be happening? What is the Higher Self Expo? Well, it is an online conference which is on its fourth edition. And this time the theme will be Where Science Meets Spirituality. And it is happening on the 17th and 18th of July, 24 hours straight, starting in the US, going on to Australia, and then coming to Portugal for the Europe stream, where Smita Joshi will be joining us on the 18th of July. Welcome, Smita. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much, Tanya. I'm so happy to be joining this expo. It's, the higher self theme is very close to my heart. So I feel privileged to be invited. Thank you.
Thank you. That's why you immediately came to mind when this invitation was made to create this Europe stream. Smita has to be here. And could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you. So I'm Smita Joshi. I'm the author of the Karma and Diamonds trilogy. It's a journey of self-discovery across continents and lifetimes. It's really about finding the best you or the higher self amidst life's chaos. And I am a coach, I'm a mentor. My background is corporate business for 25 years, working in technology and with financial institutions, winning large-scale deals, business deals, and growing clients with banks and insurance companies and so on. So growing the accounts with those institutions, managing the programs, IT programs, and so on. Now, all of that aside, what I'd like to think of myself is as a little bit like a Michelangelo who loves to bring out the person in the stone, who wants to bring out, unleash the potential that lies in the stone, as it were. So everything that I do is really about that. So whether it's coaching, mentoring, whether it's creating meditations and guiding people into a place within themselves to find the place where they can really unleash whatever is residing and speaking to them and wanting to take form in the material world.
And I can attest to the fact that the Karma and Diamonds trilogy is a very beautiful creation where you tell your story, but in doing so, help people bring out their own inner diamond, which is what you share about your inner diamond. It's beautiful. And your meditations as well are real beautiful poetry coming from the soul, bringing people back home, and your yoga classes as well. So interestingly enough, you are in two seemingly separate worlds, but you aren't, because you're only one person. So how does it all tie together?
Yeah, that's really the passion, is that, I think more than a passion is purpose. It's what is my purpose? What do I feel would make my life worthwhile before I take my last breath, if I look back? And it really is about bringing together the inner and the outer and having the two be like this. It's like the right leg, the left leg, the right arm, left arm, how they align themselves to balance and to actually bring into oneness the sort of apparent or the seeming disparities that we seem to think exist between what we call the spiritual, and you're either a spiritual person or you're in the world. But the reality is that there is no such thing. The real, as it were, the time lag, I feel like there's a time lag between people kind of switching on and going, actually, you know what, everything that's on the outside is only a reflection of everything that's on the inside here. So how about I kind of let go of the notion that there are two worlds? Advaita is what I follow, which is the system which is the knowledge that has evolved from the Indian sacred teachings and philosophy. And Advaita means without a second. People say it means oneness or the one, but actually it means without a second. So it's that there is no second. There is only that if you're doing something in the world outside, you're building a business, you're running a large organization, or you're a mum bringing up children. Essentially, you're in the process of creating and manifesting life ongoingly. So what I feel my purpose is really about integrating the two, such that there is no gap between the inner and the outer. We are always sourcing what's going on outside of in our lives from the core, by listening, by getting very, very powerfully, as you do, Tanya, getting very powerfully connected to the highest within us, which is in a place of stillness, where there is the wisdom. It takes something to drop into that, to go beyond the noise of the mind. And that's the mastery, So that's kind of what I feel my work is truly about. So the other day, I was talking to a university, which is a collaboration with one of the largest organizations in the world, which is Accenture. And, we were talking about addressing entrepreneurs there. And, I was talking about how to pitch to investors. But for me, there's no distance between pitching to an investor and dealing with the inner aspects of yourself, because essentially who lands over in the investor's world is who's in here, right? So how do you really powerfully align that without there being any awkwardness? So this being spiritual or being in the world and so on. So that's
so this ties so beautiful. That's why it makes so much sense that you are in this exact conference, this 4th edition, which is where science meets spirituality, because those seem to be, they aren't, but they seem to be worlds apart. And so where and how do they tie together through what you're going to share in your presentation during the conference?
So, it's only recently, in the last couple of 100 years, I think, that scientists and people who were of knowledge, the people who sought knowledge, became in those two factions, either your science or, and there were good reason to do that, because the modality, the mindset that explored, that needed to explore, empirically, perhaps was needed to be away from the system of belief or faith, So I can understand that, but fundamentally, we're all seeking the truth. And the topic that I would like to talk about in this conference is intuition, how and why it works. And I'm looking at what we know so far about intuition from science, and I'm going to be talking about intuition from the perspective of discernment and being able to listen to your own inner voice in a very clear way. And what is intuition? Sometimes we talk about intuition as being this big thing, but we all have it all the time. And important things that we do in our lives, like get married or choose our partner, or the work that we are really called to do, where there is no evidence that you're going to succeed or the relationship is going to succeed, we really tend to rely most powerfully. The biggest decisions, I call it choices. When you make a decision, you're listening to your head. When you make a choice, you're truly listening to your intuition. So it's those types of situations in life, I think, that show us that, without there being true evidence of why you choose to give your life to somebody or devote yourself to someone, or why you become an entrepreneur, or why you choose to create the art that you do, or write a book, or whatever all those things that call us, or go on a trip around the world, there's no evidence that it's actually going to fulfill us in any way at all. But that's but we somehow go on unknowing, like, no, there's something here, I need to trust it.
Yeah.
So and the choices that we make, listening to that deeper place in ourselves, are the ones that bring us the most joy and the most fulfillment at the end of the day. So I would be looking in this expo at how the two are currently sitting, where on the one hand we have intuition very much in the world of kind of wishy-washy woo-woo sort of stuff, and then where scientists have actually empirically been looking at how intuition shows up, the different ways that it shows up, and how it's being used today by people to make very, very quick decisions in the moment, sports people, high performance people, etc., and what we've learned so far. So I'll be talking about that, and time to maybe offer one of my meditations at the end of it.
Oh, wow.
And really help you to drop into the place where you can listen more clearly and very quickly, within moments, by just quietening your mind.
Yeah, it's maybe because after probably interviewing loads of people of success, there was this notion that, wait a minute, the intuition is working so much that then it made science look for the reasons where, why, and how does this work. And it's great that you're going to share really more in depth around that, because that's where then it can make sense to people who maybe think that they do not have, or do not listen, or do not know how to. And it's actually quite simple when you allow it. Thank you for bringing that into this expo. So, and the funny thing is, it's a unique theme. No, actually, we don't have overlays of themes, which is wonderful. So it will be very rich.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to I'm looking forward to putting that together and sharing that with you.
Great. Okay, so now if people go to your website or find you online somehow or whatever, if people come into contact with you, what can they find, or what would you like to share as your current projects? What are your current passions in your work?
Well, in the last year, I've written a whole host of meditations. There are about 100 on my website now, with different versions and so on. And so first thing they'll find are free gifts, and the free gifts they should absolutely download because they're free. And there's a beautiful meditation on there, which is called A Star-Studded Sky. It's 15 or 20 minutes long, so it's not overly long. I've also designed a whole range of mandalas, meditation aids, like they're just what has emerged from my intuition, and beautiful designs. And I've put them on my website. If people want to use them, download. So in the free gift section, I'll actually give away one of those as well. And then there are 3 chapters that I'm giving away, or 3 extracts from each of the 3 books, the trilogy. So that's one thing. The other, that's immediately what people can avail of. The other thing is that there are those meditations. They can actually listen to the samples of those. So, and then you can also read some of the text that, goes, some of the script that goes into the meditations. That in itself should be, already make people feel good about themselves. And then there are, meditation. So we have meditation albums. There's individual meditations. We have 12 meditations that attach to the Karma and Diamonds trilogy. And what I've done is I've put together an amazing package, which is a fraction of what the actual price ought to be. So we have 3 books, the 3 books which come with 3 bonus meditations. So you're just paying for, even not for the full price of the retail price of the book. So you can actually order those. Even if you buy them from Amazon, then you can still come back to us with the order number, and I'm happy to give away the bonus meditations anyway. And you can also download audio books from Audible, and again, come back to us for the audio meditations, for the bonus meditations. And then the other thing is that we've put together a package which is a mega bundle. So the 3 books with 12 meditations, and the meditations attached to experiences in the book. So there's swimming with wild dolphins off the coast of Hawaii. So I've done a meditation on that. Then there's floating on the ocean, trusting the rhythm of life. Invoke your goddess within. Connect your guru within. There are just 12 of them. Meditating in Sage Vashista's cave off the Ganges, in a cave. Sage Vashista is one of the most prolific, one of the 7 key sages from whom we have so much of the knowledge that today we see all over the place, recycled and so on. So, there's a lot of stuff on there. And also you'll find access to my YouTube videos, my blogs, articles in the press. This everything that's it's been organized there. So you'll find it'll be worth a visit.
For sure. It's a beautiful website. I've looked it up, and I have experienced some of those meditations that you mentioned, and they are really very, very beautiful and very profound.
Thank you. You were one of my guinea pigs. It's true. When we first started to bring out, there's even simple, like there's wandering clouds, drifting thoughts. There's for everybody. So people who are just beginners, or who want to go into clearing their karma with another person, or they want to have a sense of bathing in the Ganges, clearing the karma of ages, all of those types of things on there with really stunning music as well. Or walking the fire, clearing your karma. There's so many meditations on taming your mind monkeys, quite really understanding how the mind plays tricks on us. So there's lots of stuff.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing, Smita, all of this precious material that you have been creating with so much joy and passion for everyone to use.
It's so much fun, yeah.
Yeah. And so we look forward to having all of you viewers, whoever is out there, on the Higher Self Expo. The only thing to do is really just register at higherselfexpo.com, and this event is free, and it depends fully on your donations. So if you are moved to make a donation, thank you very much, because that keeps the expo rolling and going. And see you very soon again with another of our speakers. On the Higher Self Expo Facebook page and YouTube channel, you will be able to, throughout the week, listen to the speakers from all of the 3 threads that will be going on for the 24-hour roll. We are not sure if it's the first one, but it probably is in the spiritual world. A conference going on for 24 hours straight all around the world, and we are really, really happy and celebrating it. It's been a very joyful experience for us as well, the co-hosts. And this was created by Zane Daniel a year ago. And now he's brought in more people. And that's just the way the heart works. It just brings people together to share their joy and their love. And that's the whole purpose of Higher Self Expo. So see you soon.
Thank you so much, Tanya. I really look forward to the expo in July.
Thank you very much. Thank you. There's someone here from Denmark, Bodil. Thank you. Thank you. And so we will now end this broadcast. Wishing you a wonderful day.
Thank you.